Hey there, today I just have a quick message, just with some quick thoughts about things that I see online that that disturb me within the carnivore community, within the whole diet and nutrition community, to be honest. I think that it's sad that this is reflected also in the carnivore community. So I watched a video the other day by someone well known in the carnivore community. I struggle to watch his videos, to be honest, because he puts people down so much, calls them names, and just he has whole videos where he sits there and just goes, "You're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong," because of course he's right. You know, these people might not have qualifications, and he does. But I think that it's really fucking sad that grown men have to call other people names, derogatory stuff, you know, that they put people down and are belittling and nasty to grow their YouTube channels and to get more followers. It just kind of really disturbs me, and I don't think it should be happening. You know, it happens a lot, especially within the diet and nutrition side of things. You know, you've got vegans against carnivores and keto against carnivore and keto against vegans, and so you've got all these people who are going, "I'm right and you're wrong. You should be eating the way I eat because I'm right." And the science shows, the studies show, when in actual fact there are pretty much no good nutritional studies, because most of them are subjective. They ask people what they eat, you know. You ask most people what they eat and their answer will not reflect the truth about what they eat. There are almost no studies where they lock people up and feed them. So they're all based on humans recounting what they had for breakfast and how often they eat this and how often they eat that. And I mean, people lie. They lie to themselves. They lie to other people. They want to make out that they're healthier than they are, or they just don't understand the question or whatever. And so you've got all of this stuff that's on PubMed and on all these websites that are funded by food companies and funded by corporations, and so the studies are twisted to match what they're trying to prove, or the studies are just not done well, or they're, like I was saying, the whole thing, they're asking people, "How often do you eat meat?" And this person might say, "I eat it 7 times a week." But what sort of meat are they eating? Are they eating, you know, pre-cooked sausages from the freezer department at the supermarket? Or are they eating Scotch fillet? You know, it's a lot of people don't understand the difference. They don't know that there's a difference between these foods because they don't understand what the additives and the chemicals are doing to them. So that to point to a lot of these studies and say, well, this proves that a plant-based diet is the best way, or to prove to the study and say, you know, you shouldn't be eating any carbohydrates because keto is the best way, or to even things like the Randall cycle. You know, the Randall cycle shows supposedly the specific idea, but does it? Is that the whole story? You know, it's like science. I'm not a fan of science myself. Science, I consider science to be a religion, almost like a cult. And science has been used to manipulate people, to provide false information, to create a perception of the scientist and the doctor as being up here, while the rest of the mere mortals are down here, because we can't possibly be as smart as these people up here because they know the science. I think that the whole white coat science model around health, nutrition, pharmaceutical drugs is going to fall over in a big way in the next few years, and be proven for what it is, because it is a religion. I read a book years ago by a doctor. I can't remember the name of the book or the doctor, but he was basically, this was a long time ago I read this book, but he was basically talking about mainstream medicine as being a religion. People say they have faith in their doctor. You know, even if things are going wrong, I have faith in my doctor. I've got to take these drugs because he said so. I told him I didn't really want to take them, but he told me I had to, so I'm taking them. He's given me all these drugs and they don't do anything. You know, all this stuff is incredibly familiar, and they've I believe purposely, have removed the self-responsibility from people and used their position to create a world where people look up to them. Yes, doctor. Believe in them. You know, the hospital, the doctor, the white coats, and the research and the studies paid for by the food corporations and the businesses and the companies like Coca-Cola and all of these big players with massive amounts of money that feed all their information and marketing into this cult that then manipulates the minds of the masses. And that's what I think is a big part of the problem. Instead of us taking responsibility for our own health, trying things with ourselves and seeing what works and what doesn't, go by how we feel. The way you feel. I mean, I know that people get diagnosed with cancer and they go, but I feel amazing. How come? Because they probably are amazing, but there's some cancer growing in their body that their body might resolve. But instead, the person in the white coat convinces them to go and have some surgery and some chemotherapy that completely poisons their body, and then some radiation, and that just most of the time takes them out. Instead of them going, but I feel good. I'm going to clean my diet up and I'm going to do some stuff and meditate, look after myself and see what changes. See if I can get rid of this cancer myself. Because a lot of the time you can, because your body is working on it anyway. If there's something like that going on in there, it can be temporary, just based on what's going on in your body at the time. And if you correct that and give your body what it needs, it can sort it out. This is something that the whole I'm right and you're wrong, pointing to this study, I think it's just flawed. I think it's flawed and I think it's sad. Instead of listening to other people, listening to their ideas and going, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you might try that. Or it makes sense to me. I mean, it makes sense to me that people traditionally have lived on an animal diet. This is me personally. But they also ate some fruit and some honey. And they might not have eaten it every day. They ate the fruit when it was in season, especially if they didn't have enough meat from their hunt. And they ate the honey because they really like it. And they know where the bees are and they know how to find them because they're in touch and in tune with nature, not like us. That makes sense to me. Will it work for me? I don't know. Probably not now in the body that I'm in at the moment. My body's all broken from years of eating the way that I've eaten, trying to be healthy. You know, putting all the plants in and the cacao and the chia seeds and the nuts and the buckwheat and all of the stuff that's supposed to be so good for you. The spices, you know, the turmeric and the cinnamon and all of these things that are just chock full of oxalates. I've been pouring them into my body for years. Spinach smoothies. Been pouring them in for years. And my body, my digestive system, my poor digestive system. that has been so broken for so long. Because of the science, the studies, the studies that they put out saying this stuff's healthy. So don't go by the studies and don't go by the science. That would be my advice. Go by the way you feel. And stop telling people that they're wrong. Encourage them to try something else, but stop making fun of them and telling them that they're wrong. Because it's childish and it's nasty and incredibly, incredibly sad. So that's all I wanted to say. Sorry. If you enjoyed this video, hit share, like, subscribe, to all the stuff. I thank you for watching and for listening to me, and I will talk to you again another day. Bye for now.